Chris, yeah, the judge sentenced Chauvin to 21 years, which he will serve concurrently at the same time as that 22 and a half years that he was sentenced in the criminal case. So it may seem like the sentence here today will have no effect on Chauvin moving forward, but actually the federal system does things a little differently when it comes to supervised release. So law experts actually helped me confirm that the sentencing here today will end up adding about 3 years of prison time for Chauvin when everything is said and done. About 18 years in actual prison. Now, the rest he will serve under strict supervised release. A handful of people spoke in court today, including George Floyd's girlfriend, his brother, as well as Derek Chauvin's mother and Chauvin himself. During his statement, Chauvin said something to the effect that he hopes Floyd's children have the support they need during these difficult times, but he did not apologize or show any remorse. Floyd's brother was upset by this, saying Chauvin could have used that opportunity to give the family even a small amount of closure.
Chauvin showed that he had no conscience, he showed no empathy, he showed no compassion. I just don't understand in this world why. And I want to be able to ask him why. Why did he do that?
Attorneys say Chauvin will now enter the federal prison system after his sentencing. He is currently being held at Oak Park Heights, spending most of his time inside a 10 by 10 foot room by himself. Now, Chauvin's family requested that he be assigned to a prison that's closer to home, either in Minnesota or Iowa. The judge said that he can issue that request, that recommendation, but the eventual ultimate decision has to be made by the Federal Bureau of Prisons. So at this time, we do not know where Chauvin will serve out his sentence.
It's unfortunate, the turn of events, but Derek Chauvin had to pay for what he did. That's just the bottom line. And it's justice. The way things was handled, George Floyd was by no means an innocent person, because he was under the influence. He used a counterfeit $20 bill, and that's how all that mess started, to purchase something, and that's how all this mess started. Derek Chauvin, the leader of the group of cops that was sent to handle that situation, handled it poorly. And this is the outcome. Derek Chauvin wishes George Floyd's kids all the best as he is sentenced to 21 years in a cushy federal jail for violating their father's civil rights. Term runs concurrently with his 22-year murder sentence. Derek Chauvin, former Minneapolis police officer convicted last year of murdering George Floyd, was sentenced to 21 years on Thursday on a separate federal charge of civil rights violations in Minnesota U.S. District Court. Chauvin will be transferred from state prison, where he is currently incarcerated, to a federal prison, which is considered by many to be far safer and less restrictive place to serve time. Now the thing is like, he's still in a way being protected in a way, because he's going to a cushy federal prison. Okay, but I like to talk about the fact of, a lot of people aren't seeing the consequences of George Floyd's actions that led to this. Okay? He will be an old man. He will not be able to do the things as he used to do, and he forever will be haunted and Unfortunately, he will be hunted by other people because of what he did. That's something that Derek Chauvin is going to have to spend the rest of his life dealing with. Okay, just like George Zimmerman. Okay, his life is ruined. He can't get a job. George Zimmerman's life is completely ruined. He has to live with that. Just like Derek Chauvin. In handing down the sentence, U.S. District Judge Paul Magnuson told Chauvin, "For your actions, you must be held accountable." And exactly, I agree. Chauvin's sentence was doled out as 252 months in prison, but Judge Magnuson subtracted 7 months for time already served. Chauvin, 46, pleaded guilty in December as part of a plea deal, admitting he violated Floyd's civil rights by kneeling on the man's neck and back. His plea called for a 20 to 25-year sentence. How this man cannot admit what he did was wrong. Cannot admit and understand what he did was that he put his knee on a man's neck. You handle it poorly. All he had to do was put this man, put this man to sit down on the sidewalk. Yeah, I know, Atari Legend, the feed keeps freezing up. I had to try to get it back online. I'm sorry about that. I have it live stream on my audio. And that's what it's going to be. That's what he's going to have to be faced with. He's going to be faced with serving that time. Okay. Floyd's brother, Illinois Floyd, asked the court that Chauvin received the maximum sentence. Floyd, "My brother was murdered in broad daylight with a knee on his neck for 9 minutes," Floyd said. "The Floyd family and I have been given a life sentence. We will never get George back." Floyd's girlfriend, Courtney Ross, sent in a written statement saying that she didn't hate Chauvin but was trying to forget him. It's difficult to explain what the man. I'm gonna have to do this stream over. I'm sorry.